These are the ascension materials you'll need to fully ascend Camellya to max level, and here are the total materials required to max her out completely. Most of these materials can be pre-farmed from the Black Shores area, so make sure to collect as many as possible before her release. This video is an all-in-one guide for our most anticipated waifu from Wuthering Waves, aka Camellya. She's going to be a Havoc Sword user, playing the role of the main damage dealer on your teams. Based on the leaks, she's going to be a god-tier damage dealer. Now, let's dive into some highlights of her kit to give you a basic idea of how she works. Camellya is an on-field main damage dealer who can enter two special states. The first state is called Bloom State, which is activated after her resonance skill. During this state, she is bound with her vines, and her hair color changes along with her moves. These special moves will be considered basic attacks, so basic attack damage will be important for her. The second state is part of her Fortay, which amplifies her overall damage significantly. Her ultimate is essentially a nuke. Her inherent skills increase her Havoc damage and basic attack damage by 15%. It also increases her resistance to interruptions during her Vine Dance. Her bonus attributes mainly include crit damage and attack percent. If you already have a good weapon for Camellya and you're looking to invest in her resonance chain, her R1 is pretty strong. R1 helps build her Fortay gauge quickly, giving her more points through her intro and outro, which later convert into concerto points, and it also boosts her crit damage significantly. When Camellya uses basic attacks, she gains a 6% stack of crit damage per second, stacking up to 5 times, with each stack lasting for 10 seconds. Her best echo set would be the Sinking Sun set. The 2-piece set gives a 10% Havoc damage boost, and the 5-piece set gives an additional 7.5% more damage when the character uses basic attacks or a resonance skill. This can stack up to 4 times, with each stack lasting 15 seconds. This set is the best for her as she's a Havoc damage dealer, but if you have better stats on the Lingering Tunes set, you can use that temporarily. You can also mix a 2-piece Sinking Sun with a 2-piece Lingering Tunes, but I recommend aiming for the 5-piece Sinking Sun set. For her Echo's main stat priority, focus on getting crit damage or crit rate on your 4-cost Echo, depending on what you need. Aim for 70% crit rate with 250% to 300% crit damage. For 3-cost Echoes, prioritize Havoc damage. And lastly, focus on getting attack percent on your 1-cost Echoes. Overall, these stats will give her an insane amount of raw damage. For substats, prioritize crit rate and crit damage, attack percent, and aim for around 20% energy regeneration to help charge her ultimate quickly. If you get some flat attack, that will also contribute to increasing her overall damage. Camellya's signature weapon is her best in-slot option. It provides a 24% crit rate and has a passive that increases both her attack percentage and basic attack damage, which are key highlights of her kit. Honestly, her weapon looks amazing, so you should definitely pull for it. However, if you don't want to, there are 2 other 5-star swords you can use. The Emerald Genesis Sword has a 24% crit rate and can be obtained from the standard banner. Its passive focuses on energy regeneration and attack percent. It increases energy regen by 12.8%, and when a resonance skill is cast, it increases attack by 6%, stacking up to 2 times. This effect lasts for 10 seconds. If you have this weapon, it's a solid option for Camellya, as it's somewhat similar to her signature weapon. If you happen to have Changli's signature weapon, Blazing Brilliance, you can also use it on Camellya. It offers 48.6% crit damage, and its passive buffs both attack and skill damage. Attack is increased by 12%, and every time the wielder deals damage, they gain 1 stack of Searing Feather, triggered once every 0.5 seconds. Additionally, they gain 5 stacks when casting Resonance skill, with each stack providing 4% Resonance skill damage bonus, up to 14 stacks. After reaching max stacks, they expire after 12 seconds. Since Camellya is your main damage dealer, I recommend using a 5-star weapon, as there are no 4-star crit weapons. However, if you're looking for temporary 4-star options, here are some good choices. Commando of Conviction has a 30.4% attack main stat. Its passive is simple. After Camellya uses her intro skill, her attack is increased by 15% for 15 seconds. At S5, this weapon boosts attack by 30%. Looming Gloss is another solid option, with a 36.5% attack stat. Its passive increases Camellya's basic attack and heavy attack damage. After casting Resonance skill, basic attack damage bonus and heavy attack damage bonus are increased by 20%, stacking up to 1 time for 10 seconds. At S5, Looming Gloss provides a 64% damage bonus. Camellya's best team would include Sanhua and Shorekeeper. Sanhua is an excellent free-to-play support option because her outro skill provides a massive 38% attack buff to the next Resonator. As we know, Shorekeeper is the new support meta. Her Resonance Liberation is really strong, with 3 stages that advance after each intro skill. Stage 1 provides healing. Stage 2 offers energy regeneration and up to 12.5% crit rate. Stage 3 grants a 25% crit damage boost. Shorekeeper will trigger Stage 1, then you switch to Sanhua for Stage 2, and lastly to Camellya for Stage 3. At this point, Camellya will receive all the buffs, significantly boosting her damage. For those who don't have Shorekeeper, you can replace her with Baiji. Baiji is a good healer and provides attack buffs through her outro skill and her inherent skill Euphonia. Her outro skill gives a 15% damage amplification for 6 seconds, and Euphonia grants 15% more attack for 20 seconds. Verena is another great option if you're not using her on another team. She offers healing, shields for heavily damaged characters, coordinated attacks through her ultimate, and attack buffs through her inherent skill. She also amplifies damage through her outro skill. As for the second slot, many people recommend using Havoc Rover and Danjin. Personally, I don't see the logic behind Havoc Rover and Camellya's team, aside from the Moonlight buff, as Havoc Rover is more of a DPS character. On the other hand, Danjin can use her outro skill to provide a 23% Havoc damage boost to Camellya. Danjin also acts as a solid sub-DPS with good crowd control, but keep in mind that Camellya is a selfish heavy hitter and will take up most of your field time. Mortify is also a viable temporary option. His outro skill amplifies Camellya's heavy attack damage by 38%, and his coordinated attacks will help after his Resonance Liberation. Keep in mind that Camellya needs more testing, and this video is based on early speculation. Kuro could change her kit before release, so if any big changes happen, I'll be sure to update you in the comments. I hope you all pull her. Kuro really outdid themselves with this character. Everything about her is amazing. Peace out.